My name is Catie Scudera, and I want to talk to you today about becoming a truly welcoming congregation. I believe that the Unitarian Universalist Association's efforts to become an anti-racist, anti-oppressive, and multicultural community of faith is one of our many ways to walk the walk of our religious convictions about being about love, equality, and the goal of world community. Our struggle as a denomination to become more culturally inclusive reminds me of a story from the New Testament of the Christian Bible. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 15, you find the story of the Canaanite woman. As per usual, Jesus and his disciples have just finished having a debate with other Jewish leaders, and as per usual, when they're traveling, someone approaches them who needs Jesus' help. In this particular situation, it's a Canaanite woman. She calls to Jesus very respectfully, "Lord, Son of David," and then she gives her request, "Have mercy on me. My daughter is tormented by a demon." Once you've read a bunch of the stories about Jesus' ministry, you start to see a pattern. And with the Canaanite woman, you recognize immediately that this is going to lead into a miracle story. Jesus is out and about, someone impure comes to talk to him and ask him for some help, and to the surprise of everyone, he helps the impure person. The Canaanite woman, to readers of the early Gospels, would certainly have counted as an impure person. She was a woman from Canaan, an area that was traditionally in wars. They were enemies with the Hebrew people. And she has a daughter who's possessed by a demon. But this story throws us a narrative curveball. After the Canaanite woman has given her request, Jesus doesn't help her. He ignores her. In fact, his disciples tell him, "Send this woman away. She keeps shouting after us." And as she continues to implore him for help, he turns around and tells her, "I only was sent here for the house of Israel, for a group of people that doesn't include you." And to make matters worse, he tells her, "It's not right, it's not fair to give the food, the bread of the children, to the dogs." Now remember, one of the main people in this story is Jesus, who has just spent a lot of time touring all over Palestine, healing people, having meals with other unclean persons, such as moneylenders and prostitutes, and proclaiming the good news that the greatest commandments are to love God and to love one's neighbor. So why is he being so mean to this person? What is Jesus doing in this story? And here's one interpretation. Jesus and his followers have been dismissed and discriminated against by other Jewish leaders and by the imperialist Roman Empire. Despite his own oppression, Jesus is unable to see through his own cultural conditioning and prejudices against the Canaanites and against women. He's trapped in a cage and he's totally unaware. But the story doesn't end with Jesus being mean. The Canaanite woman knows that he has the power to heal her daughter, and she's not going to take no for an answer. So she says to Jesus, "Yes, Lord, what you've said is true. But even the dogs eat the crumbs off of the master's table." And when Jesus hears his own cruel words reflected back to him, he has a change of heart. His heart opens. He says to her, "What great faith you have." And I think in that small statement he's saying, "What great faith you had in me, that I could be changed." And he does then heal her daughter. So in reflecting on this story, how do we Unitarian Universalists do better walking the walk of being an anti-racist, anti-oppressive, and multicultural community? What we can learn from Jesus and his disciples is that when we meet someone from a very different background from our own, or a very different identity from our own, we're not always going to get it right. In fact, sometimes we're going to get it really wrong. What we learn from this story is that Jesus is willing to listen to the other person. He's the one who has the power in this situation, but still, he opens his heart to someone else. We have to recognize that even if we've been in an oppressive situation due to our religion, our nationality, our region of origin, our gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, education level, or class, we may not be able to see the prejudice that's lurking in our own hearts. I believe that as Unitarian Universalists, if we open our hearts and learn from our mistakes and missteps in multiculturalism, we can achieve the potential to be a great healing community. And we have that potential. Like Jesus' message of love, the message of love in Unitarian Universalism should not be restricted to just one group of people. And that's the radical spirit. Do you feel it?